This video is going to cover section 3.2 synthetic division. In the first question it says use synthetic division to perform the division. Now I like synthetic division because it's a quick way to do the division. You can do this problem using long division, but I'm going to show you how by setting it up. We're going to first put a number that's in the box, and the number that goes in the box is going to be what will make this denominator 0. If you're dividing by x plus 1, if x is negative 1, that makes the whole denominator 0. So if x is a denominator, we have x plus 1, we're going to put a negative 1 in the box. And then we're going to look at the coefficients of the numerator polynomial. In the numerator, we have x to the third. That's the same thing as 1x to the third plus 3x squared plus 4x plus 2. You do want to make sure that all of your powers are listed in descending order. This is x to the third power, x to the second power, x to the first power, and then the last term is a constant. You do want them set up in that way. And then you list the coefficients next to that negative 1 in the box. We're going to put a 1, and then a positive 3, a positive 4, and a positive 2. We're going to leave a space and I draw a line here. And the first thing we do is everything that's below the line we're going to multiply by the negative 1. And everything above the line we're going to add together. So to begin with, we're going to bring the first coefficient down to make that a 1. And then again, anything below the line we're going to multiply by what's in the box. So 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. We're going to put that above the line. And then we can do the next step. Everything above the line we're going to add together. 3 plus negative 1 is positive 2. Then we're going to multiply 2 times the number that's in the box over here, 2 times negative 1, and put that result here, negative 2. Now we're going to add 4 and negative 2 together. That's a positive 2. Multiply 2 times negative 1 to get negative 2. And then we're going to add those two above the line. A positive 2 and a negative 2 is 0. Now the last number here below the line, this is going to be your remainder. This has a remainder of 0, so this divides in evenly without leaving a remainder. The way we write our answer is by using the numbers below the line as our coefficients. That's going to be used as part of our answer here. And when you are starting off with an x to the third power, and you're dividing by an x to the first power, you're going to simplify that. X to the third divided by x to the first is an x to the second. So this is going to be 1x to the second power, and then you decrease the powers. Plus 2x to the first power, plus 2, and this one has a remainder of 0. So the answer to this problem is x squared plus 2x plus 2. Using synthetic division, we set up, we place the negative 1 in the box because we're dividing by x plus 1. We use the coefficients next to that number in the box, leave a space, always bring down that first term. Anything below the line you multiply by what's in the box. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Add these together. 2 times negative 1 here, add those together, 2 times negative 1 here, and add those together. This last one is a remainder of 0, so it goes in evenly, we don't have any fractions. That's going to be our answer. X squared plus 2x plus 2. Okay, let's look at number 2. This is similar, just starting off with a larger polynomial in the numerator. We are going to put the number in the box. This is an x minus 4, so we put a positive 4 in the box. We're going to be looking at the coefficients. The coefficient here is a 3, the coefficient here is a negative 15, a positive 13, a negative 5, and a positive 4. We're going to use those numbers next to that in the box. And also you want to make sure there's no missing powers. X to the fourth, x to the third, x to the second, x to the first, everything is there. So let's go ahead and, okay, and so we're going to list just the coefficients, 3, negative 15, positive 13, negative 5, and positive 4. Leave a space. Okay, then the first number after the number in the box is 3, that coefficient 3. Bring that down, and then everything below the line you're going to multiply by the number in the box. 3 times 4 is 12. Add negative 15 and positive 12 to get negative 3. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. 3 times 3 plus a negative 12 is a positive 1. 1 times 4 is a positive 4. Negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. And then negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. The last, when you add them together, that last number is always the remainder. This goes in evenly because the remainder is 0. So this simplifies nicely. And we're looking at the largest exponent in the beginning was at x to the fourth, and we're dividing by x to the first. So an x to the fourth divided by an x to the fourth is going to be an x to the third power. We're going to use these numbers as our coefficients. I'll write this as 3x to the third power minus 3x to the second power plus 1x minus 1. And this has a remainder of 0, so we can leave our answer like that. The only thing I'll do here is to just simplify 3x to the third minus 3x squared. We don't need to write a plus 1x. That's the same thing as just plus x minus 1. So our final answer is 3x to the third minus 3x squared plus x minus 1. Thing to remember here is the number in the box. With the x minus 4, you put a positive 4 in the box. You write the coefficients next to it. You always bring down the first term. You multiply everything below the line by the number in the box. So bring down the 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down the, add negative 15 and 12 to get negative 3. Multiply negative 3 times 4 to get negative 12. Add 13 and negative 12 to get positive 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Negative 5 times 4, sorry, negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Add those to get a remainder of 0. Starts off with an x to the fourth. Their answer is going to be an x to the third. Okay, let's look at number 3. We're dividing 3x to the fifth minus 4x to the third plus 6x squared minus 5x plus 3. When you set this one up, you do want to make sure you have all those powers of x. But I noticed right away that this problem, 3x to the fifth, was missing an x to the fourth power. So that's the same thing as plus 0 x to the fourth power. When we set up the synthetic division, we're going to have to put a 0 in the setup. Minus 4x to the third plus 6x squared minus 5x plus 3. All of that divided by x minus 2. So the difference here between this one and the previous one is that you're missing the x to the fourth power, so we have to put a 0 there in our setup. All right, so we're dividing by x minus 2, so a positive 2 goes in the box. Then we list the coefficients. The coefficients 3, 0, negative 4, positive 6, negative 5, and positive 3. Those are the numbers we're going to put next to the box. 3, 0, negative 4, 6, negative 5, and a positive 3. Leave a space. Okay, the first number after the box 3 you're going to bring down, and then 3 times 2 will give you 6. 0 plus 6 gives you a positive 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Negative 4 plus 12 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 6 is 22. 22 times 2 is 44. Negative 5 plus 44 is 39. 39 times 2 is 78. And 3 plus 78 is 81. And that last number is always your remainder. This has a remainder of 81 so that it doesn't go in evenly. So I'll show you how we can write our answer when we have a remainder. Okay, to write our answer, we started off with a problem that was an x to the 5th power, and we're dividing by an x to the 1st power. So our answer is going to start off with an x to the 4th power, using 3 as the coefficient. Then we're going to decrease the powers of x. So we get 3x to the 4th plus 6x to the 3rd plus 8x squared plus 22x plus 39. Now the remainder, this is how you take care of the remainder. It's going to be plus 81 over what you divided by, x minus 2. So that would be our final answer, and we can check our work. 3x to the 4th plus 6x to the 3rd plus 8x squared plus 22x plus 39 plus, now we got to write this as a fraction. The numerator, the remainder is 81 over what you divided by x minus 2. Okay, so when you have a remainder, that remainder is going to be added to the result as a fraction where the remainder is divided by the x minus 2.